The Joe Rogan Experience.
That fucking TikTok ban. Like, what is this actual law?
Oh, that bill has nothing to do with TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with TikTok. It's all about having power to restrict access to, like,
what's the deal with TikTok? When did TikTok become like a fucking evil?
Well, first of all, they nailed it. Adam Curry doesn't think they are. Adam Curry's perspective when I talked to him, and Adam Curry's brilliant.
Yeah.
He said he thinks that they're eating tech in America's lunch, and they're trying to block them out because it's a Chinese-owned company. And because they're saying that China's scooping up all the data, guess what? He goes, that's exactly what these other companies are doing too.
Yeah.
They're all scooping up your data.
Yeah.
The idea that your data is going to China is a problem.
Like, what does that mean? It goes to China?
Like, it's because China represents competition, and they developed an app that's the most addictive app ever.
Sure.
That's just Adam
but also
Curry's
selling
perspective.
Is it Adam Curry, MTV original VJ?
Yeah, that guy's
he's like
the
a
shit.
huge tech guy. Yeah,
Do you know he's the fucking original podcaster? He's
Really?
the pod father. He's number one.
It's why. Yeah, he's a couple things he was like ground level on.
Well, he's super like deep in on the internet, man. Like,
and so yeah, it seems the same. Seems it's just an app that they're making money off ads.
But I will say, I've never seen before, because Christine, my girlfriend, is like,
she's on it nonstop,
and I really like that she stops herself now. But the fact that you're in a position where you have to stop yourself, and like, she can't wait for me to go to the bathroom, or whatever, so she could just start seeing more of them. And I'm genuinely afraid to try, but I almost like the same way I want to try crack once, like see what all the hubbub's about. I want to go on and be like, is it good? I'm not into watching bite-sized videos or whatever. It's not my thing.
But the thing is, what it does is it finds what you're into. And one of the ways I know that is my 12-year-old and my 14-year-old have fucking completely different feeds.
Whoa.
They talk about it. Like, my 12-year-old is into like weird facts and strange things. All kinds of stuff that the 14-year-old's not into. The 14-year-old's into like dress-up videos. It's like people are into different shit, and that's what it'll find your thing. It's like really good at that. But it's also like super invasive. But then the question is, how much do we know other than what we found out from Twitter? How much do we know about like what these other companies are doing? Like, when you just sign up for someone's app, and then like, how about when you're talking about something and then you see a Google ad for it? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, we all know by now.
What the
well,
fuck is going on? But
you can turn that off. You can turn that. That's actually a function. If you go into like Facebook on your phone, you can all of them. You put turn microphone off. It's an option, so it doesn't do that. If you turn the microphone off, though, the app doesn't do almost anything.
It's just annoying.
It makes you almost keep it on. That's the only reason I have it on. But
it hobbles it.
Yeah,
it hobbles it so it can listen to you constantly.
That's too far. Following shopping habits or something, it's like maybe that's way too far.
What about like an Alexa helps you solve a crime because it like was recording or something?
I hate that.
If we didn't know, if like this whole thing with Edward Snowden didn't come down, we would, and that was a long time ago. If you really stop and think about it, we would have no fucking idea that there was a government full-scale surveillance program that was on the American people, like on everybody.
Yeah.
Like they could spy on anybody. They don't have to have warrants anymore. They can do whatever they want. They could get all your emails, all your voicemails. Like, that is wild shit. And we found out about it because a guy told everybody and then had to hide in Russia.
Damn, it's
Clear
crazy.
AI scrapped 30 billion images from Facebook and other social media sites and gave them to cops. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Puts them into a
stuff.
perpetual police lineup.
Oh, so no more of that. They're not in the system. They're not in the system.
Look at that. 30 billion images from Facebook and social media sites and gave them to police. So now they have your name and your face. So if you have a fake ID, if you get pulled over, they know exactly who you are. And they can run that through some fucking computer that has a database
of
everything.
That was a
your
big
social
thing
media, everything you've ever done.
That's so much deeper than DNA evidence, because they would say that if someone didn't have their DNA in like the that you couldn't find something. It was their first time like crime, and they weren't. Now
you could be like, did you buy a shovel recently?
Jamie, what is
you're
the
in the
law?
system if you have a phone.
Yeah.
What is this TikTok law? Because people are freaking out about it, and people are telling me that I have to look into it.
Confusion is calling it the TikTok law to begin with.
The Restrict Act is what it's
TikTok is not listed in there at all.
Right, I'm sorry. But it's, that's like don't say gay bill.
Sure.
Never really says don't say gay in any of it.
Yeah, that was a misleading one.
Yeah, it's very misleading.
But that's also kind of how it's being sold to people as like, this is what's going to stop the bad TikTok stuff.
Right.
But it's like, hey, TikTok is not mentioned in here, so maybe it won't do that at all.
So what does it say?
So this is what, instead of like just going after TikTok, they're making this sweeping Act. The Restrict Act is described as a systematic framework for addressing technology-based threats to the security and safety of Americans. That sounds ominous. It grants the Secretary of Commerce the authority to review transactions by certain foreign entities who offer information and communications technologies, products, and services in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risks to the national security of the United States or its citizens. This includes, but not limited to, impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy, sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States. Boy, that could be interpreted a lot of ways. Interference and manipulation of federal elections, which could mean you're just skeptical or you're gullible and you bought into some conspiracy theories and you're talking about them. And instead of just being able to just talk like a nonsense person, you get jacked.
So it's kind of like it's like subverting the press.
Undermining the democratic process to steer policy and regulatory decisions in favor of the strategic objectives of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States. Like, man, this is all so open to interpretation. Like, think of those things. Impact the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. That's easy to do. You can impact it. What if you impacted it in a positive way? What are you saying? Impact it. The digital economy. Like, how do they? What have you done? Do you promote a certain coin and it blows up? Then you just impacted.
What if you stop using eBay?
Yeah, I mean, if someone think about these Bitcoin guys. If Elon posts a Dogecoin image, immediately Dogecoin goes up, right? Yeah. Doesn't that impact the digital economy? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
So what if he says the crypto is bullshit because he believes it? Well, doesn't that impact the digital economy?
Yeah, they could arrest him.
And are they talking about the digital economy that exists now, or are they talking about a centralized digital currency, which is what China does?
Is that what they're saying?
What they want to do?
Are they saying that Elon Musk will be illegal for him to?
I don't know what they're saying. The problem is the way that's. I mean, obviously, I'm not a lawyer, but the way that's written. Scroll back down so I could read that. The way that's written, impact to the country's critical infrastructure and digital economy. And digital economy is included in there. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know. I've never made money digitally.
Yeah, I don't know.
But look at this. So this thing, information, communications, technologies, products, or services, right? So this is ICTS. Sabotage or subversion of ICTS in the United States.
What's ICTS again?
So it's information, communications, technologies, products, or services, all right?
Okay.
So in order to identify, investigate, and mitigate undue and unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. So if you did something that's subversion.
So they're saying.
So imagine if you said, I think these people are full of shit, and I think, what they're trying to do is gain control of the United States, and I think we should resist that. That would fall into that.
And they're selling it as TikTok is doing this. TikTok is subverting our elections, or TikTok is subverting our economy. So we have to be careful of them.
That way. They're not even selling it that way.
These countries are the foreign adversaries that may do bad stuff.
So they're like, it's a risk that they're going to do something bad with this.
Yeah, like they've listed using a VPN as a way to subvert that, which would be illegal, and you get a gigantic fine, and maybe 20 years in prison.
Use a VPN here? Oh, how do you steal?
Imagine.
How do you steal?
They're going to criminalize that?
Imagine they're going to criminalize VPNs.
I'm always told to get a VPN.
Yeah, you should get a VPN.
Potentially criminalizing the use of a VPN service or sideloading to access services blocked from doing business in the United States under the Act, due to the text stating that no person may cause or aid, abet, counsel, command, induce, procure, permit, or approve of the doing of any act that violates the orders issued under the Act. What?
Oh, that's so confusing.
Bro, they're trying to gain more power. This is creepy. This is not good, and I just gotta hope that people wise up and don't pass this. Does it seem like this is something they're passing?
I don't know that it's gotten that far. I know it's been proposed.
You think there's an order to it where it's like, first we bill China as going after Hong Kong and Taiwan. Now we see them as the enemy. Now a business associated with them, we can get rid of that now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I mean, the problem is like TikTok zombifies people. So like, if you take it away, they're gonna revolt.
Yeah, they want it.
I don't think you have to take it away. But I think that act has nothing to do with TikTok. If people have like legitimate concerns that people are abusing and overusing TikTok, that's a conversation people should have.
Sure.
But if this is not that.
It's not because of that.
This
it's not
is
because
something-
everyone's using it too much.
This is about what they're getting
doing
when you
with
use it.
Yeah.
All that stuff seems very vague to me. Obviously, I'm an idiot, but all that stuff seems very vague when they're reading out like what they can get you for.
Yeah.
And that last thing about acts that are listed as impermissible under the act or whatever the fuck the wording was, like what the fuck is like you're covering all the bases. It seems like it's so open to interpretation. Now imagine if something like that existed during the pandemic.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the pandemic where people go, I don't know if these fucking masks work. You would immediately get...
That's against the public health.
That's against that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
You'd
exactly
be in legal
what that thing.
trouble, they're saying.
Now
Yeah.
we know they don't work. So then it was, we think that you can still get sick even if you get vaccinated. That, immediately, you would get banned from things.